Copyright 2023 Andrew D. Chapman. All rights reserved. No part of this publication may be reproduced, distributed, or transmitted in any form or by any means, including photocopying, recording, or other electronic or mechanical methods, without the prior written permission of the author, except in the case of brief quotations embodied in critical reviews and certain other non-commercial uses permitted by copyright law. For permission requests, write to the author at the address below. Andrew D. Chapman. P.O. Box 1072. Netherlands, Colorado 80466. Autodidacts toolkit@gmail.com. This book is typeset in Avenir typeface. Cover design by Andrew D. Chapman. Contents. Introduction. Chapter 1, The History of Sexuality. Chapter 2, Theories of Sexuality. Chapter 3, Societal Views and Norms. Chapter 4, Evolution of Human Sexuality. Chapter 5, Types of Sexual Relationships. Chapter 6, The Mechanics of Sex. Chapter 7, Sex Across the Lifespan. Chapter 8, Cultural Perspectives on Sex. Chapter 9, Controversies and Debates. Chapter 10, Personal and Emotional Aspects of Sex. Conclusion. Introduction. Sex, a simple word that encompasses the vastness of human physical and emotional connection. This book is an exploration of sex and sexuality, unraveling the many layers that make up the sexual experience. From the primal instincts of our ancestors to the digital desires of the modern age, we examine the evolution, theory, and practice of sex across cultures and through time. Our journey begins with the history of sexuality. Chapter 1 takes us from the raw, survivalist sexual behaviors of prehistoric times to the refined and often repressed mores of the Victorian era. We observe how sexual attitudes have swung like a pendulum throughout history, sometimes celebrated, sometimes stigmatized, but always central to the human experience. We follow the trajectory through explosive periods like the sexual revolution, into the harrowing years of the AIDS crisis, and land in the expansive virtual playground of the digital age. Chapter 2 dives into the theories that have attempted to explain the enigma of human sexuality. From the biological imperatives driving our mating strategies to the complex psychological theories shaping our understanding of desire, we explore the frameworks that have been constructed to make sense of our sexual selves. We dissect the contributions of pioneers like Freud, scrutinize the Kinsey scale's attempt to quantify sexuality, and ponder the modern musings of queer theory and feminist perspectives. The third chapter grapples with the societal views and norms that govern our sexual conduct. Here, we dissect the intricate relationship between sex and morality, the influence of religion, and the impact of legal frameworks on our sexual freedoms. We critique the role of sex education, media representation, and the evolving understanding of gender. The chapter also confronts the stigma surrounding sex work, the battle for LGBTQ+ rights, and the changes in sexual norms from youth to old age. In Chapter 4, we turn our gaze to the evolution of human sexuality. We trace the biological basis of sexual reproduction, the adaptive nature of mating systems, and the selective pressures that have shaped human sexual anatomy and behavior. We also consider the roles of pleasure and homosexuality in the evolutionary narrative, and project how these may continue to evolve. Chapter 5 presents the kaleidoscope of sexual relationships. Monogamy, polyamory, casual hookups, and the growing realm of digital romance are all dissected to understand the varied forms of modern companionship. We navigate the ethical considerations that these relationships entail, including the dynamics of power and consent within them. As we progress to Chapter 6, we examine the mechanics of sex. This section is a candid look at the biological and physiological processes that underpin sexual arousal and response, the diversity of sexual techniques and positions, and the significance of sexual health and hygiene. We explore the advancements in contraception, the challenges of sexual dysfunctions, and the burgeoning world of sex tech. Chapter 7 addresses sex across the lifespan, acknowledging that sexuality is not static but evolves with each stage of life. Adolescence, young adulthood, middle age, and the golden years each come with unique sexual experiences and challenges. We discuss how life events such as parenthood and illness shape our sexual narratives, and how one can maintain sexual health throughout their life. Cultural perspectives on sex are the focus of Chapter 8. This chapter is an excursion through various cultural lenses, examining how different societies perceive and practice sexuality. From the Eastern philosophies to the liberal Scandinavian approaches, we explore the rich diversity of sexual expression around the world. The penultimate chapter, Chapter 9, engages with the controversies and debates that ignite passion and provoke dissent. We tackle the contentious issues of pornography, reproductive rights, and the politics of sex work. The impact of technology on intimacy and the ethical dilemmas posed by future sexual innovations are also explored. Finally, Chapter 10 delves into the personal and emotional aspects of sex. Emotional intelligence, the interplay of love and intimacy, and the art of communication are all dissected to understand their roles in fulfilling sexual relationships. We confront the shadows of sexual trauma, the complexities of jealousy, and the pursuit of sexual fulfillment. This book is not just an academic treatise, but a comprehensive guide to understanding one of the most fundamental aspects of human life. It is an invitation to reflect, learn, and perhaps even transform our own sexual experiences. Join us on this odyssey through the captivating world of human sex and sexuality.